AITA for telling my MIL she isn't invited to my house? My MIL, 62F, has always been self-centered, and this has been the case ever since I, 35F, married her son. From the very beginning, she made it clear that she wasn't particularly fond of me. However, I've always been the kind of person who avoids unnecessary drama, so I did my best to ignore her attitude and not let it bother me too much. After all, engaging in conflict would only make things worse, and I didn't want to add fuel to the fire. But over time, her behavior became more difficult to overlook. The main issue I have with her is the way she treats both me and my kids. You'd think that as a grandparent, she'd naturally want to shower her grandkids with love and attention, but that hasn't been the case at all. Instead, she goes out of her way to exclude them from family events, never bothers to call and check on them, and has even missed their birthdays on several occasions. It's like she purposely distances herself from them, and I can't help but feel that her disdain for me is somehow being taken out on my kids. It's heartbreaking to see this unfold, especially because my kids don't have a strong relationship with her. They're much closer to my mom, and thankfully, they've grown accustomed to the lack of attention from my MIL, so it doesn't bother them as much as it could. But still, as a mother, it hurts to see my children treated like they don't matter, all because of whatever issues she has with me. For me, the line is drawn when someone starts mistreating my kids. That's a deal breaker, plain and simple. I'm not the type to just sit back and allow anyone to treat my children poorly, so when my MIL started acting out and showing this kind of behavior, I decided that she was no longer welcome at my house. My husband was on board with this decision, and we both blocked her on everything to cut off contact. Of course, this led to her accusing me of manipulating her son into cutting ties with her, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is, her actions have hurt both of us deeply, especially when she talks negatively about our children. It's something we both agreed we wouldn't tolerate. I thought that would be the end of it, but recently, I received a message from her out of the blue. To my surprise, she had somehow figured out how to use Facebook, despite not having an account before. It seems that when she couldn't get through to my husband, she decided to reach out to me instead. In her message, she explained that she was being evicted from her home because she hadn't been able to pay her rent on time. She also mentioned that none of her other children were willing to help her out, so she was hoping that we would let her stay with us for a while. If that wasn't possible, she asked if we could at least provide her with some financial assistance. Before I responded, I made sure to show the message to my husband. He made it very clear that he didn't want her staying with us, and honestly, I felt the same way. So, I replied to her message and told her that she wasn't welcome to stay at our house. Now, I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. AITA?